Good morning. This is Bert Gonzalez. I am with Came Americas in Miami Lakes. I am the business development manager, and we are presenting our Bollards and road blockers line of products. We welcome you. We hope to have many more of these types of presentations and webinars for you. This is our first English version, so please bear with us. We'll do our very best. Our technical manager, Mr. Jose Guillen, will be making the presentation.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Bert, for the presentation.
You're welcome on board, sir.
I'm sorry.
Again, at the end of the presentation, we'll have a question and answer part. So please bear with us. Wait until the end. Get your questions ready, and our technical manager, Mr. Guillen, will answer them to his best of the ability. So welcome on board, and Jose, take over, sir.
All right. Thank you, Bertie. Thank you. Well, thank you, everybody, for attending today, taking the time to listen to our presentation. Today, we are going to talk about our bollards and road blockers. Okay, just a second. Let me find the right button for this. Okay. Let's start with the definition. What is a bollard? So we need to understand first what we're talking about. So in that way, we can move forward, right? So a bollard is a small, thick, could be metal pole that is embedded to the ground, and it could be used to either control passage of vehicles, but either protect pedestrians, and it's actually a device to can provide security, right? Against accidents, against cars going over people, going into buildings and so forth. I was reading about the history about the bollards. Originally, they came from ports, right? When the ships back in the day, when the ships used to arrive to port, and they will use these long strings, and they'll attach these cord strings to the bollard, right? So in that way, they will secure the ships to the port, and that of course, they won't go away. Where can we use these bollards? The bollards can be used to protect bridges, to protect unlimited pedestrian area access, right? Of course, it's being used a lot in parking to protect parking equipment, to protect parking equipment, parts of the building itself. Customs, like for example, customs area, certain area that this is not very common. High road and highway, of course, to protect highways, and to protect areas where the vehicles are going through. And these are different, some of the applications that we're looking at here, like for example, right here, for buildings, protect pedestrian areas, access ways. They can be connected to the technical center, which manages the access. And then we have another example here, a building, for example, right? Here in Kame, we have, we just recently acquired, we already had the Kame group. We had the Kame Orbaco, which was our main company for bollards. But recently we acquired Kame Osak, located in Turkey, which, it was acquired with the idea to expand not only our bollard division and road blockers, but also to strengthen our presence on pedestrian access. So we have turnstiles, and we have a half-body turnstile and full-body turnstile. So that could be another webinar that we can organize in the future, so we can show you this product line as well. So product line in bollards. So what do we have? We have access control and urban solutions, and also we can call it high security solution or security solutions, just to give you an idea how more or less how we divide the market and how to present it to our customers. So just to mention, just to show you really quick how we have classified our product line, we're going to start with automatic retractable bollards, our most sellable bollards, which basically these devices are, this metal cylinder right here. They're connected to a technical center, which could be either a hydraulic or a pneumatic pump. And then with the use of these devices, we can actually open or close and max it. They're completely automatic. We have the semi-automatic and also the BMM. We inserted this bollard in the semi-automatic classification, but I'll explain you why. The semi-automatic we need a key to release the bollard. So with the use of our foot, we step on the bollard and we open the access. So we have these two, they work the same way. And then we have the mechanical bollard, which is completely manual. So you have this handle right here, which allows you to engage it, and then you will move, you will raise the bollard, and if you need to free up the access, basically you disengage the lock and open the access for people. Then we have the area for removable bollards. Then we have the fixed bollards, which are basically like the name says it. They are just fixed bollards. They're just right there. So you anchor those to the ground, and basically they won't move anywhere. Then we have the removable posts, which are basically about the same concept as a removable bollard. However, these are or a bollard, but these are thinner. These are thinner and longer on dimensions. And then we have the fixed posts as well. So basically, these are the removable posts and the posts. They have no crash rating, but basically for delimiting, for limiting space for pedestrians and vehicles. They have no crash rating at all whatsoever. And then on the part of to manage the automatic bollards, we have these different devices which are used to basically to manage our bollard. For example, the CD6. The CD6 is a totem type control center where we can have inside of this device we can have PLCs, we can have access controls. Basically, from here you could get an access to the area that you're going to visit. I'll show you more or less how this is going to work, or how the setup is. And then we have the CD1, which is a basic version of the CD6 with less space to install your access control devices. And then we have the CD square, which has the traffic light, the two lights to work as a traffic light, and also you could install an access control device right here, and then of course the traffic light. And as a control devices, the imagination is the limit. You can have long range RFIDs, LPR readers. You could open, if you have your cell phone, we have a device called CAME Connect Ethernet version that you can actually open and close gates through your cell phone, wherever you are. So that could be another option. We have the remote controls, contactless cards, intercom. You can call somebody in an office, say, listen, allow me to access the premises, and they will press a button that will talk to the CD6, and the CD6 will lower the bollard to grant you access to the premises. So we have the keypad also. You can enter a password, and then that will allow you access to the premises. And last but not least, we have the delivery button. You could press that button right there, and that will lower the bollards to grant you access to the premises. And we also have a Sigma 3. It's a software that will allow you, let's say, for example, if you have, let's say, to give an example, a university. Right now, it's very common, the smart city concept, right? So we can have, within one computer, we could control several bollard access from one single place. That this software will allow us to do that. Okay, on the access control and urban solutions, I'm going to explain the different components, what you can find on a bollard installation. First, of course, we're going to find the bollards. In this case, we're showing number one right here. We have two bollards. Let's take that those are automatic retractable. They're gonna, when they want to release they want to open the access road, they will go down. If you want to close the area, they will go up. In this case, we're showing some G6 Evo with these diameters. We have a diameter of 250 centimeters and a height of 750 millimeters. And in this case, they're saying that we have a built-in hydraulic pump. Yeah, we have an external and an internal hydraulic pump. So this is the bollard that we'll be using on this sample. Then we have number two, we have the totem and control board. As I mentioned before, this could be a CD6. In this CD6, you can have the traffic lights indicating whether or not, with the lights, somehow signalizing, showing the person, hey, it's red, stop, yellow, please go ahead. And then we have our, but we can install our access control, which will be number 3 and 4. I already went ahead of the game. So with number 3, control devices, we could have a license plate reader. We could have an intercom that you can actually call somebody and will release the bollards. You can have a keypad. I mean, any access control device that you wish to use, it will be installed here on the CD6. And then we have the signal device. As I mentioned, we have 2 lights with red, of course, stop, and then yellow. That would mean go ahead. And safety devices, very, very important. The things that you see over here, those are ground loops. Ground loops are used to basically, when the vehicle is going through, that will not allow two bollards to go up, even if you're pushing the button. That's basically a safety feature that, to avoid this type of situation. Imagine, that nice little car is going through and then somebody presses the button by accident, bollard go up. That would be some damage to that vehicle right there. So that's basically how you will find, but you can find on a configuration for a bollards installation, right? So let's talk about our automatic bollards, and we're gonna bring in this case our both families. We're gonna mention both families of bollards. Remember, we have Kami Orbaco and we have Kami Osat. So we have right now the bollard, the TVD. The TVD is designed for traffic control. These are moved only by hydraulic motorization. And the cylinder has a wall of 5 millimeter thickness. So it's a 5 millimeter thick, the metal wall of the device. These are used mostly for traffic control. There's no crash rating on this. We haven't done any type of crash rating on these devices because they are meant only for traffic control. And measurements, we have two type of measurement. We have diameters of 220 millimeters and a height of 500 millimeters. In the other case, we have a 220 millimeters diameter and a 600 millimeter high on these devices. Operation speed can go anything between 1.8 to 4 up to 4 seconds on rise and fall, the time for rise and for the device to come down. How we control these devices, they are compatible with any access control system out there. So whatever you're using, whether it's a proximity reader, LPR camera, keypad, as long as we have a dry contact that we can close a contact, the bollard will come down and go up. I have to mention that we have the option to have a battery backup on these devices. And they know from factory, they come with a button with 3 buttons, up, stop, and down. But you can have, if you want to add any other option, we're more than welcome to use them, and we'll customize the solution for you. All right, now we're going to talk about our G6 Generation 6 from Kami Orbaco. This is bollard. For this bollard, we have different type of motorization. Remember, the one before, the one that we showed before, the TVD from our family OSAT, is only a hydraulic bollard. In this case, we have our hydraulic, but hydraulic could be internal. We could have an internal pump installed inside the body of the bollard. We could have an external pump, which could be located away, and then we have pneumatic. We can have a pneumatic pump raising the bollard on, letting it go down. So we have those. Yeah, we can say 3, 2 kind of hydraulic and plus the pneumatic. And these bollards, they have some sort of crash rating on this. These are tests that we perform in factory. They have, depending on the diameter and height, we have 2 different impact energy. For example, the bollard with a 200 millimeters and 200 millimeters diameter and 750 millimeter height, they can withstand the impact of 96.1 kilojoules. We're looking at a vehicle of a 2.5 ton going at a more or less, just to give you a reference, more or less a 40, I don't know, I want to say close to between 30 and 40 kilometers per hour, something like that. And then the bollard for the 250 millimeter diameter and 750 millimeter high, it can withstand an impact of 241,000 joules. The cylinder, of course, it has a wall thickness thicker than the last one. It's an 11 millimeter thickness. It can go up and down between the speed will go anything between 5 and 7 seconds. And again, it's compatible with any access control out there. And for these bollards, they are available in any RAL scale colors. I don't know, if you want somebody who wants the bollard on a fuchsia, I don't know, some color, you can always tell us. We provide you with a RAL scale. You tell us the color more or less that you want, and based on that, we can actually we can paint the bollard the way you want it. All right, and let's gonna show you our G6 Evo. Our G6 Evo, these bollards are, they also have the same motorizations that we shared with the previous family, hydraulic and pneumatic. For the hydraulic, we have the external, but also the internal pump. You might ask me, well, Jose, when am I going to use either or? The difference is space, basically. If you have enough space to install an external pump, you can actually go ahead and we can provide you the quote with the external pump. However, if you have an installation where where space is very limited and you have no space at all whatsoever to install your hydraulic pump, we can always go ahead and use the internal hydraulic pump. Now, in the case of pneumatic, also, I'm going to answer that question. That's another question that we get asked a lot. When do we use pneumatic or when do we use hydraulic? Pneumatic is basically, remember, we have a compressor, an air compressor that is going to be filled up with air to basically rise the boiler. So if we're going to have a point where there's an access point or an access area or an entrance that's going to be used very, very often, we have to go hydraulic because the liquid is going to be always there. Now with the pneumatic, there's a limitation right there because if we rise the boiler 5-6 times, one after another one, the pump is going to run out of air. So and then the compressor is going to have to fill up that tank. So it's going to take some time to fill up the tank and then rise the boiler. So we don't want that to happen. So and that's when you use the pneumatic boiler when the access. You require some automation. However, it's not going to be used as often. All right. Good thing about the G6 Evo. So G6 Evo, you see these 3 sleeves right here. The beauty of these guys is that we can exchange the sleeve. We can exchange the sleeve. We can have the sleeve with the RAL colors. We can paint any RAL color that you wish to have. We have the stainless steel option, and we have the customized version. So you can have a customized version for this boiler right here. Basically, what you do, you remove each one of these screws that you see over here. You remove this cover. You remove these 2 rings, and then you can actually remove the whole sleeve, and then that will take no more than 10 minutes to make this replacement. I mean, I'm exaggerating. It won't take too much to change this sleeve. The cylinder wall is about 111 millimeter thickness. Basically the same operation speed between 5 and 7 seconds, depending. That depends on the amount of boiler that we have on the installation. And then again, they're stronger than our previous family. They both can take an impact. Well, actually, yeah, they both take the impact of a 250 millimeter. I mean, the 250 millimeter diameter by 750. They take the 241,000 kilojoules. And then again, they are compatible with any access control that we can see out there. It's going to show you basically here the different components of the G6 Evo Bollard. This is how it looks without the sleeve. Kind of ugly, but when you put the sleeve on it, it's going to look nicer. We have the sleeve for that we can, that you wish to paint on any RAL color. That would be the sleeve. And then we have the stainless steel sleeve. And the sleeve, I'm sorry. And then we have the custom cover for the boiler. And right here, we can see the different components of a boiler. So we have the hydraulic spin. It could be hydraulic or could be pneumatic, depending on the type of boiler that you wish to have. Then you see all the structure of the boiler itself. In this case, we're showing you right here the built-in hydraulic pump. And then on this side, we're going to have an upper limit and a lower limit, basically to tell us when the boiler is up or when the boiler is down. And also we have other electronic components, like for example, a switch, we can say, that can actually let oil in or let oil out. So in that way, the boiler goes up and down. In that case, in case of hydraulic, and we can have it for pneumatic as well. And then I'm going to show you a few samples of the different interchangeable covers, just to give you an idea how you can, again, imagination is the limit. If you, for example, for a city that have a different event during the year, you can actually get 3 different sleeves for that case, and you can change it according to the occasion that you are celebrating or you wish to celebrate. Okay, let's move now to our semi-automatic boilers. Why do we say semi-automatic? Because it's basically like that. So we need a key to release the boiler. We use our foot to open the access. We lock the boiler on the lower position, and then we leave the boiler for as long as we want. Then when we come back, we just basically unlock the boiler, and it will go automatically by itself. They share the same features, as the previous family. And these boilers are designed access that are most of the time closed because they have an air cylinder inside, right? So if you leave the boiler for a really long time on the lower position, the air cylinder is going to damage. So we don't want that to happen. So these boilers are designed for access roads that are going to be most of the time closed because of that I just mentioned, okay? They're both also part of the Kame or Bako family. Now, in the other hand, we have the manual retractable. This boiler right here, you can see this handle. Basically, we insert the handle on the top of the boiler, release, we raise the boiler, lock it up, and close the access. Once you want to open the access back up, basically it's the same key, unlock and let it go down. It's completely mechanical, so your hand will be your strength will be the mechanism to move this type of boiler. We have this is designed for or is intended for access areas that are normally open, occasional use. When you want to close the access, you basically use your hand, raise the boilers, and you close your access. The dimension that we have for this boiler is 200 millimeters for diameter and 640 millimeters of height. The wall is made out of steel, and also it has a 4 millimeter thickness. Both belong to the Kame or Bako family, and these shapes right here, those are the different keys that you can find, that you can actually special order to if you wish to have a different shape of the key that you're going to install. In the removable bollards, we have for the Kame also, we have this type of removable bollards. We have our fixator, let's call it that way. This is a part that goes underground, that is attached to the ground. And then you have the bollard right here. You have a locking mechanism that you unlock the mechanism and you remove your bollard, use the lid, cover the area, and then you can actually access the access point, let's call it that way. And this design is designed for occasional opening of entrances. We have two different sizes of this type of bollard, but if you wish to order a different size, we can always ask factory and make it for you. We have the diameters are 100 millimeters or 324 millimeters, and then we have the heights of 500 millimeters and then 1200 millimeters. So that would be 100 millimeter diameter, 500 millimeter high, or the other case, it would be 324 millimeter diameter and 400 millimeter high. They are made out of cast iron with a 4 millimeter thickness wall, and they are also available on different rod colors. I figured, no, don't be scared. There's an orange that is very colorful. However, you can have a different color if you wish to offer that option as well. And then let's talk about fixed bollards. Our fixed bollards, these are made out of cast iron. These are our Kame Osak. Basically, this area that you see over here is the area that's going to go underground, right? We have two different dimensions for this type of bollard. We have 220 millimeters diameter and also 324 diameter, plus a height of 500 or 1200 millimeters. So we can make a combination of this bollard they wish you want to have it. Of course, these are designed for places where vehicle passage is not allowed. It's not allowed, and we're closing completely the area. It can be ordered on different colors as well as you wish. We can always have different colors and also different type of stickers here to show the bollard right there. Then we have on the fixed bollard, we have the G6 and the G6 Evo as well. So we have for these bollards, they are made also of 111 millimeter thickness cast iron. We have two different dimensions for this type of bollard: 250 millimeter diameter by 500 millimeter high, and then we have the 250 millimeter diameter by 750 millimeter high. The design for the G6 is cylinder. This is what we call the cylinder model. This is you can have it on this. I mean, for the G6, this would be the only shape that you can get. However, you can change the color as we mentioned before. And for the G6 Evo, you can have the cylinder, right? This type of design, but you can have it on stainless steel. And as well, remember, we can always do the custom cover. And for the G6 Evo, we can install LEDs. If you wish to have LEDs on this area of the bollard, we have that option available as well. And of course, once again, they are designed for areas where vehicle passage is not allowed. And the way we will install these devices will be by having this area underground. And you can actually install a rebar over here to make it more, make it steadier. And to make it steady. Again, there's no crash rating on these guys. They're meant to be for just basically just not limiting spaces or telling cars that no, don't go through here. These Bollards right here, they have no crash rating at all whatsoever. And then removable poles, there's not much that we can say about it. It's basically this metal cylinder with, this will be the Mistral and the Van Damme. The Van Damme is basically a stainless steel. And this is just to show you a sample how they are basically to limitate access between pedestrian access and vehicle access. Again, no crash rating. No crash rating is offered in this type of bollards. Now, let's talk about high security bollards. Right here we have with our Kamiyasak family, we have two type of high security bollards. We have the HPD, which is high security, and then we have the RBD, which is reinforced bollard, and then we also have the fixed bollards. We're going to talk about those briefly. The reinforced bollard, they are designed for type of medium level security is required. They can withstand the impact support of an M30, M30, which is equivalent to a K4, which translates into a 6.8 ton vehicle traveling at 48 kilometers per hour, which more or less about 30 miles per hour, something like that. That's about the speed. Then we have an opening speed of between 2.5 and 5 seconds. Then the dimensions that we have available are diameters. We have 270 and 320, and the height would be anything between 700 or 900 millimeters of height. Then for these guys, the only motorization for these devices would be hydraulic, only hydraulic for this guy, for this type of bollard. And then this is the energy or the electricity that we would need to power up the hydraulic pump. The hydraulic pump in this case, as I mentioned before, they come with the hydraulic pump, the bollards, as well as up and down and stop button. However, if you wish to have more accessories, like for example, a traffic light, a remote control, other access control, we can always custom make the solution for you. We can provide you with a full solution that you wish to implement. Now, in this case, we're going to look at the heavy duty bollard from our Kame Osak family. Designed for sites where the highest level of security is required, not only for the automated version, but also for the fixed version right here. And they can withstand the impact, the equivalent M50 or K12, which is equivalent to a 6.8 ton vehicle traveling at an 80 kilometers per hour. And also we have another version that could be a K8, a lower impact energy, which could be 6.8 ton vehicle traveling at 64 kilometers per hour. Again, for the automated version, is the only motorization that we have for these devices is hydraulic, no pneumatic available for this. And then we have these two models over here. You can see we have the shallow installation, and then we have for areas where you can actually dig a bigger hole, or bigger hole, and then we can install this type of guys for deep or shallow installations. It's basically the difference in each one of them. For the automatic version, we have an opening speed that can be anything between 2.5 and 5 seconds, but also we have what we call the EFO, which is the version that we have like a turbo, let's call it that way, that will rise the bollard in less than a second. That's another option that we can provide if it's needed in the project that you're working for. We also have the dimensions, again, 207 millimeters for diameter, and also 320 millimeters diameter, with a height of 700 or 900 millimeters accordingly. One more time, our automated version is compatible with any access control right there that you wish to implement. And the bollards are certified right here. And the certificate is available upon request. So our bollards are certified. They've been tested and they've been approved and certified to the ASTM standard. And as I mentioned before, our fixed bollards are for deep and shallow installations. Now let's talk about our Kame our Kame or backhoe high security bollard. So we're gonna talk about, we have the G30, which is it's crash rated. This bollard can withstand the impact of a 2.5 vehicle traveling at 48 kilometers per hour. It will stop this pickup truck right there on the spot. However, the bollard won't be able to work again. It will stop the vehicle, but it's not going to work again. But this is our, let's call it the lower level. Then moving forward in the scale, we have our one family. So we have 130, 140, and 150. Those are our Kame or backhoe high security bollards. So for the 130, as you can see, is equivalent to a K4 rating, and this will withstand. These are certified to a different standard, you can see here, but again, it's equivalent to what we call the K4. And this bollard will stop a 7.5 ton vehicle traveling at 48 kilometers per hour. Same with a 140, 64 kilometers per hour. This same vehicle, 7.5 ton vehicle traveling at this speed. And also our 150 will stop this 7.5 ton vehicle traveling at 80 kilometers per hour. All right, let's talk about our G30. We only have one dimension for this model, and it's 250 millimeter diameter by 750 high. We have they're designed for basically where we require a low level of security. As you can see, the truck right here makes some damage, so this truck didn't go anywhere. But of course, the bollard won't work again. So once it gets hit, it's gonna stop right there. For these guys, we have the option for hydraulic motorization, and it's embedded. So the embedded hydraulic pump, we only have that model for these guys. And then again, it will take the impact of a 2.5 ton vehicle traveling at 48 kilometers per hour. And we can actually have the custom-made sleeve for this guy if needed. Now let's talk about our 130 series. We have it on 3 different types. We have it on automatic, right? We have it on removable, which is not the version right here. This is a removable one. And then we have the fixed one. So we have the 3 options: automatic, removable, and fixed. And the motorization for these bollards, again, is only hydraulic because of the weight of the cylinder itself. We have to move it with hydraulic pumps, or the pneumatic won't work for that. As mentioned before, they will take the impact of a 7.5 ton vehicle traveling at 48 kilometers per hour. Dimensions: 250 millimeters diameter for 1,000 millimeters high. Available in different rod colors, but also you can have the sleeve custom made, as you can see over here. You have the sleeve that can be painted on any rod color, stainless steel, or your custom made sleeve. These made out of high resistance steel, and these are the certifications that these bollards have, and they're also available upon request. Moving to our next category, which is our 140 bollards. They fall into our high security category. Again, we have the 3 different families. We have the full automatic bollard, we have the removable bollard, as well as the fixed bollard. They can withstand the impact of a 7.5 ton vehicle traveling at 64 kilometers per hour. The dimension for these guys is right here, 250 for 700 millimeters. Available in different rod colors, all right, and options as well. The sleeve for the different colors, stainless steel leaf, and custom made sleeve as well, made out of high resistant steel. And again, these are the 2 certifications that these bollards have, and this is available upon request. Now, our strongest bollard on the Kame or backhoe family, we have the 150. The 150 is also, once again, available on automated version. We have the removable version as well as the fixed version. Oh, and now the motorization, once again, is hydraulic. It will take the impact of a 7.5 ton vehicle traveling at 80 kilometers per hour. Dimensions: 325 millimeter diameter by 1,000 millimeters high. Same, the design, same as before. We have the sleeve to be painted in different colors. We have the stainless steel sleeve, and then we have the custom-made sleeve if needed. and these are made out of really high resistant steel. And both certification, once again, available upon request. Now, I'm gonna show you. I mentioned before that's gonna show you how more or less the solution goes, right? As I promised. I have the Bollards right here. We have the Bollards right here, the automated version. So we have the automated version Bollard, which could be 130, 140, 150, depending on which family you wish to use. Then we have the technical center. We could have an external pump, which are these two right here, and we have all the different electronic and the electric devices. We have the PLC. The PLC could be controlled. This computer could be installed right here on the external pump, or in case that we have an internal pump installed on this boiler, we can have this computer installed inside the command center. So basically, here would be your keypad, your proximity reader, perhaps a QR as well. And then from here, if you're granted the access, if we can either go straight to the Bollards and from here and tell listen, go up or down, depending on the case, or this command center could be connected to the technical center where we have the pumps, and the pump will either inject or retrieve oil, depending on the case, if you want to let people in or let people out. This is basically the different components that we can have on a Bollard installation. Now, we're going to talk about road blockers. We also offer different type of road blockers for protection of sensitive areas. Let's talk about our strongest road blocker design. These are designed for sites where the highest level of security is required. Okay, so this is the certification that the Bollard the road blocker has. We have what we call the V shape. The V shape is basically if the vehicle hits this elliptical area, of course, it's going to bend this metal over here, but the vehicle that hits it is going to get stuck over here, so it won't go over our road blocker. And these hooks over here, they're meant to support when the vehicle hits it. It's these hooks over here that basically will grab the structure of the device, so in that way the vehicle won't go anywhere past this area over here. So they can take the impact of a either MK or K12 rating, and which translates into 6.8 ton traveling at 80 kilometers per hour. This is a high security road blocker. These are no other option but hydraulic motorization, and they are compatible with any access control system that you can find right there. They are available on different width. So it's basically, if you want to order one of it, we need to know how wide the access road is, so we can actually provide the right solution for you. We have different width for these devices. And for we need to provide this type of electricity in order to power up the hydraulic pumps, either 3-phase 380, or we have the option for 220, or some cases 120 volts, only for some models, not available for all of them. As I mentioned before, we have the different dimensions. Right here, we can show you different dimensions. It's important to know the width of the road blocker so we can provide the right solution for you. And as I mentioned before, like I was mentioning, we have this other product. They have the semi-elliptical area. We have the V shape right here. So when the vehicle hits our road blocker, there's no way that it's gonna go beyond our road blocker. That's why we have this V shape right here. Okay, we also offer when we have we're limited by how deep can we go on the installation. We also offer some road blockers that's called surface mount. Look right here. As long as we have about a 250 millimeter space, we can dig a hole and install a road blocker. We should be good to go. So we can actually install this road blocker on existing buildings that they already have. Perhaps they might have some pipes or something running under. As long as we can grant at least 250 millimeter space, we can actually install these road blockers. These are part of the also Camiostack family, and these are high security road blocker for the shallow installations. they could withstand the impact of a vehicle traveling of the equivalent of a K12, which is a 6.8 ton traveling at 80 kilometers per hour. However, tests haven't been done yet. The test is pending, but it's being designed to withstand that type of impact. Again, the full scale crash test is pending. And then again, like I mentioned before, design where depth is a limitation. For this guy also, there's only hydraulic motorization, and then we can offer solutions to cover areas between 1 and 6 meters of width. And then once again, the power, it could be either 380 3-phase to 220, or perhaps some models we might have available for 120. Now I'm going to show you a couple videos showing the crash test of our road blocker. This basically showing the civil work that has to be done in order to install this type of road blockers. As you can see, there's quite some work to be done in terms of construction. And that's how the test is being done to these vehicles. Now we're going to see it on slow motion. Right there. I'm going to make a pause right here. I'm going to mention something that is worth mentioning. Our devices are certified, not only certified to that standard, but also they have a P1. P1 is called penetration, how deep the vehicle went. So in this case, we are P1, which is the minimum that we can offer. So no vehicle, basically almost nothing is going to access. As you can see, our road blocker is go back to work. We will have to replace just the front cover, and your device will go back to work again. What happened? Got disconnected. Can you hear me? Heard. Yeah, I got disconnected.
Now I can hear you. We lost you for a minute there, Jose.
Yes, I got disconnected briefly. Okay. Let me just restart the video. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason I got disconnected. Okay, let's go back again with the video. And that's how the test is done. And then we're going to see the degree of penetration. That's very important. It's not only that we are certified to that standard, but also we need to know how deep that vehicle went, so we can state that on our calibration certificate or certification certificates. And again, we have a P1, less than a meter penetration. So the vehicle didn't go over a meter. So we not only were certified to that standard, but also there's a P1. So it didn't go beyond, the vehicle didn't go over a meter. So we can offer you the highest protection with our Bollards. Now, do you have any question? The session is open.
Jose, let me say a few words, if I may, and then we'll open it to question and answers. So everyone get ready, and we'll be with you shortly on your questions. As you can see, and thank you for a presentation. That was very technical. Every time I see it, I learn something new from you, and you're very qualified. What I want to say is, as you can see from watching Jose speak about how technical all these equipment and product is, my suggestion is, and you'll have that information available to you, is when you have your prospect, your sales potential, you need to get as much information about the particular installation that you're going to be doing. There's a lot of constraints. Distance, for example, in the bollards, so you have a real secure area. You need to know about how to install it, so the installation must be very technical with the cement and the rebarb and so forth. You can get all that from us. So get as much information at the time of your inquiry with your customer, and then come to us and we will help you. We will have the supporting catalogs, the videos, the manuals, the technical information to provide to you. So we'll be there with you at the time of the closing. But you need to know what you're going to be doing. That way you avert problems in the future with your customers and with the product itself. There's so much variations of product, as you can see. Just alone in the roadblock series, there's over 50 variations, particular from the size and the height of the equipment. It's very flexible. You will also have the availability, depending on the criteria and the specific product that you sell, to prove to your customers that these are certified for crash tests, and we have that information for you. In the roadblocker series, we have a residential model, we have the mid-tier, the RRB, and then we have the heavy duty, which could be, as Jose mentioned, very shallow mount, where you cannot dig as deep as you would in other instances for a more secure area. So there's variations in the opening and use of these roadblockers. You have the open, the close, and the stop. You do have an emergency button to stop in case there's any faults. So saying all this is that you need to have your clear information from your prospect of what he wants. And there we will help you to close the deal. And as you can see, we have all sorts and types of products, high-end, mid-end, and low-end. And we have 2 manufacturing plants that have more than enough experience and production capability to help you with. And that's all I wanted to say, Jose. I'm sorry I didn't get into your presentation, but it was very technical and very good.
No, so thank you for the information you added, Bert. I think I appreciate it. Well, I don't see any questions. So anyways, I just want to thank you for taking the time on your busy schedule and attend to this webinar. We're going to be doing more of this. This is our first attempt, right, on the US market, but we got more webinars are coming. So we're going to keep on sending invitations. Please stay tuned. And then we have a lot to talk about our different product families.
We will be preparing a webinar spec sheet for dates and times on specific products in the near future, and we will avail this information to you very, very shortly. So thank you. My name is Bert Gonzalez, Business Development Manager at Kame Americas. Jose Guillen, our Technical Manager, and please give us a call. We'll be glad to answer any of your concerns.
Anytime, Diane. You're welcome, Diane.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.